Good morning, everyone. It's a bit of a wild hair day today. But, wild hair, as long as it's clean, I think my mother used to say. In time, in everybody's life, there are times of uneasiness and upside downness and unrest in a country, or um, the world is still in the throes of a pandemic, and there has been there's been much crying and much wailing, and now in South Africa we're also struggling with unrest. And I know that we're not the only country in the world, or an uncertain economy, or a government that we don't all agree with, or a government that's looking at, there's a spiral happening all over the world where people are feeling that the people in charge aren't necessarily so much in hand, or so there's a lot of mistrust and unrest and all over the world. And so all we can do is we can just be peaceful within this unrest. And you're like, oh, just be peaceful within this unrest. Avril, what are you talking about? So in 2 Chronicles 15 verse 5 it says, in those times there was no peace to him who went out, or to him who came in, for many disturbances afflicted all the inhabitants of the lands. And when I came across this, I thought, there are many different afflictions. There are so many disturbances around. So today, in this week, in South Africa, right now where I'm sitting, I'm pretty safe for now. Hopefully all the time. Hopefully that doesn't change. But I'm safe. But now I've got to wonder if there's going to be food tomorrow, because where the food comes from, there was burning and fighting, and trucks that carry the food from the coast to where I live have been burned, and now we're filling our cars up with petrol, and now we can't find even the octane that we use. And fortunately, we're in a bit of the throes of the pandemic, so we can't use our cars that often. So that, yes, I'm struggling with certain things. I've got to think of, have I got enough milk for the next X amount of weeks, or do I have enough porridge for my children, or and then the lady that works in my house, I worry about her because she lives kind of in the outskirts, but maybe she's fortunate and she grows a garden, so maybe she'll have some food. But will she be able to go and buy herself some pap or bread or milk? And so we are not always going to live this life of incredible no trouble happening. It's never been what God has promised us. He's never promised us no trouble. And so there will be disturbances, and there will be uneasiness. And so what do we do? And I want to encourage you, because right throughout the Bible and throughout history, there was vicious things happening. There was not always great politics. There was not, when the church was new in Rome, the Christians were being murdered. Well, all over that part of the world, Christians were being murdered because nobody wanted them, because they had such a weird faith that included love and encouragement and hope and mercy. And so what you see and what disturbs your soul that is happening in your country, in whichever country, it disturbs your soul because it does not match what God intended, or what is God's perfect plan, or God's beautiful love that He has for us. It doesn't match. And so it disturbs us. We don't like it because it's not what God